Hey guys, KC Jilly here. I figured I'd give you the home update for June, just kind of where we're at right now. Today's the 3rd, so let's see what's up. So you can see the old resting garden. It's resting right now. It's got some volunteer tomato bushes and stuff in there. And those yellow flowers you see, they are actually coming from over here in this Israeli melon that's in this container. And it's not very big yet. It's about the size of a softball at this point, but it's vining out really well. And now that the summertime's coming on, I think it's going to be okay. It can reach out there to the sun if it wants it, and it can hide in the shade if it's necessary. Got all our sunflowers are starting to pop up. This guy's, because my grandson planted these things in the shade, they're retarded. You know, they usually follow the sun. But I don't know if you could see, that one's just facing ass backwards. And that guy is trying. That's about the smartest one of the bunch, so got retarded sunflowers. And down there you can see, those are the potatoes that's left. That's the russet. I'm waiting probably right in the middle to the end of this month. I will do another video and we'll dig them russets up and see what's up. But they're not done yet, so to be continued on those guys. Now let's go see what else we can get into. Okay guys, like I said, my peppers, they're recovering. You know, it's not just a transplant shock, but these guys were 24/7 underneath of a grow light all winter long. They never ever came out from the light. So they're more shocked by that, I believe, than anything. But they're finally starting to get, these old leaves are starting to give up and go on. And I've got some new growth on here. And it's gonna be okay. So, you know, I've got a flower here, so we're starting to come back now. I was pretty worried about it. Now those guys, I'm surprised he's even there, to be honest with you. He must have eaten his fill, but I'll tell you what they do. They get on, you see that vine right there? That is my passion flower vine, okay? That particular type of insect loves the passion vine. You can see he's been chewing on this one over here too. Okay, look, there's one right there. Let's see if I can get out here in the sun a little bit where I can show you. Come on now, there we go. All right, see, he's waiting on that flower to open. They just love eating the leaves off of these things. And they benefit one another. Then they find them a spot like this guy. And that's where they make their little cocoons and they turn into whatever butterfly they're gonna be. Anywho, back to the peppers. So, you can see there's evidence. It's all coming back. It's just finally starting to bush out a little bit. But look here, up in my pepper. I got a dadgum snail. This is a Mexican snail straight from Mexico. I think he likes his stuff spicy. But, you know, there's some health that's coming back into them. And this is one of those new Carmens. It's getting tall now. I've got some out there at the secret garden. I'll be showing that to you soon, shortly, but they're coming. It's tall. These are sweet peppers. Okay. And you can see the banana pepper's doing okay. I got plenty of little peppers hiding on that, even though the bush is a shorty. All right, let's see. Boy, that snail that I smushed stinks. Pewee. All right, now this is actually bell peppers. And I pulled the two that were growing on it off because they didn't look too bueno. This plant has also went through some shock and it's coming back though. See? Getting some little buds on them. So it'll be okay. You know, you can look down here at these trunks. Those guys, they've got a little bit more age than some of this stuff, and usually that would help, except for I kept them on such a schedule. All right, and I'm beginning to think that what I've got here is sweet heat. Now, I had another one right here somewhere in the middle, and it died. And I thought, oh man, I'm out of the sweet heats, but this guy is taking over, and it looks healthy, and so one to replace it. That's good. Now, the jalapeno looks like hell, okay? It looks like hell, but, and look, see, that gum snails are munching, but it's recovering. I'm still getting peppers. Can you see the wood on it? That's an old pepper. You know, it's like, looks like a real tree. And it's in this shady spot or it would really take off. Okay, and then these guys are supposed to be mammoth jalapeno, I believe. So it's just getting kicked off. We'll see. And this corn over here is kind of a joke. It is what it is. I really do not worry about it at all. I'm gonna end up putting a planter here and putting my shady stuff over here because it stays too dang shady. I'm learning my yard, so let's go check out something else. So you guys can see my yellow pear bush is growing up. Now the butterfly vine has finally started catching up and it's meeting it there. So we got these guys meeting in the middle. And the yellow pear is doing just fine. They always do. I mean, this guy is glad to take over the world if you'll let it. Doing really good. Okay, before I go through though to check out all that stuff, let's sneak over here on this side of the fence and peek. I grew these guys, these okras. These plants are just for my wife for fresh eating because she messed around and tried one okra about that size. That's perfect for her, see? And ate it raw. And then I could never get any okra on my plants anymore because she was grazing on them like an old cow. I had to take a stick and beat her off of them. So this year, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna grow some just for Mama. So she's got a couple here she can chew off of nice and easy here. And then out at the secret garden, I've got 4 or 5 plants out there that I can do what I need to do and build up a little bit for preserving, using in other ways. All right, so this is the Marketmore cucumbers. These guys are finally filling out a little bit, crawling up the fence. I still don't see any on them. Okay, and in a minute we'll go to the other side of the fence and we'll take a look at them squash plants. Y'all can see pretty clear through here. All right, so let's go look in the greenhouse. Okay guys, so we're in the greenhouse. I had a giant Marconi pepper here, and I don't know if my grandson or a dog or even a bug, but somebody knocked my pepper off, and it had been bitten by a bug. So I took it and ate what was safe on it, and it was pretty darn good. So I think I'm gonna enjoy them. We'll let that guy get back to going. These are the volunteers that are getting up there now. My carrots all gone to seed. You can see that's what that looks like. This one's a little further along. And those onions back down in there, they're done. They've had it. I need to get them out of here. You can see the rest of the leftover volunteers I hadn't done anything with. I'm just letting them live their life right there. I stole a couple of lettuces that had started over in that planter and brought them in here. I'm thinking maybe over here in the shade of this thing, it'll go ahead and grow and I can get a couple of heads of lettuce. Y'all, I cannot tell you how many millions of tomatoes I have harvested between here and that secret garden. All right, my deal, we cut it back pretty hardy the other day. It was pretty heavy and it's growing out this way too much for me. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna cut it back. And we hung some of that stuff up and dried. These little onions are all ready now, these red onions. Time to get them out of the ground. But these Jolene tomatoes, they're doing just fine. And you know what? I need to break down and take one of them as it gets done and do a taste test on them because I don't know. I've so far, every single one, I've been coring them and sticking them in a freezer bag and getting them ready for canning. But I need to taste them, see how they are. So, but here's the citrus tree. It's doing nice. Got some new growth on it. Another Jolene. Come on up. Got a couple about ready. See some more flowers up there. So we're still moving forward. It hadn't got too hot yet. All right, this citrus, this guy is crazy. He's really spreading out. Wish it was safe to put them in the ground down here. I'd like to have the tree in the ground, but this is my Aunt Ruby's German green. And it's the tall one going up to the dadgum roof. Let's see how that goes. You know, most of my tomatoes so far this year have been humongous. You know, I got the soap sucker breaking down here. fixing to cheat and cut some of them off and let them root. And then as this hot comes on, because it always gets so dadgum hot here in Texas, what I'll end up doing is cutting the whole entire bush down, but I'll save some of them suckers first, get some roots on them, and as I cut them down to the ground, I'll stick the rooted suckers back in the ground, and by the time fall comes, I'll be ready to party again. I'll have a good head start going. So that's kind of the plan at this point. On this side, we have a few Better Boy. It's doing pretty well too. It's gotten up there pretty good in its time. These guys as well, that's another Better Boy. And I've picked, like I say, I've picked several off of everything. But you see, they're getting too big now, and I'm not gonna play the same game as last year where I do the 20-foot long tomatoes that grow from one end of the greenhouse to the other. I'm gonna save the suckers, get them as far along as I can before I cut these guys down. And then as soon as I get them guys cut down, I'll replace them with the others. And that's gonna make me to the fall. And at the end of the fall, I'm gonna do it a little different in here this time. And instead of growing through the winter, I'm gonna get down in here and show this dadgum garden bed some love. It needs a little TLC. All right. These old strawberries are healthy, dadgum. Big old pretty plants. Look at the leaves on them. See my hand to them? I mean, they're looking good. I think strawberries do really good in here. All right. No telling what all else is up under there, but my grandson likes to hide that stuff. A bunch of onions back there are doing okay. And I've got some peppers in here. I think these are lunchbox, but I've got a couple of goodies in here, and we'll see how they do in the near future. All right. Now, the other volunteer growing right outside the door here. I have no idea what it is. It's time for me to tie it back up. I robbed the little pomegranate tree that was here, and I planted it in my front yard. And I also moved my olive tree. This stuff right here is Egyptian spinach, and it's finally starting to kick up now and come on. We'll see how that stuff does. That pomegranate tree, I have given up on fighting it at the bottom at this point. And I'll be honest with you, like I said before, this one's probably gonna move too. I don't know, we'll see. Probably gonna dig it up, move it somewhere more suited. The ground is great for it, but I've got all this mess up above with the power lines and stuff, and I can't let it go. All right, the fig trees. I came in here and pruned them. This is my first time ever growing the figs. I've never tasted one, but I wanted to know what I was doing. And they were branching out and they looked so healthy, but I wasn't getting any figs. And what I discovered from my research is that what I needed to do, first of all, was thin it out a little bit and make it to one main stalk. Well, there's my one main stalk. And since this is brand new this year, I'm leaving these other three, but they're spread out enough from one another. They're not shading one another totally out. And then wherever you want to, okay, so right here, there's a thing you can pinch off right here, okay, at the end. And what that does is next year, this tree will not grow any further up this year if I was to pinch that. Instead, that's what's going to branch out next year and spread the limbs. So I'm figuring this out. I'm watching for some figs, but I'm not. I see some little spots on these, see, but I don't know if you can see. But to me, that doesn't look like a fig yet. That looks like it might be leaves, but it is also just a 2-year-old dude. So, and I've got this guy here, another volunteer. Maybe soon we'll know what flavor I've got here. And let me get back here so you can take a look at it. This is my China Jade cucumber. It's grown all the way across now. And my wife and I were noticing, look at this. Okay, I don't know if you can see. That's right now, and I mean, that's only been showing up here for about 3 days that we could see. Those guys, I think, get up to like 2 feet long. It's crazy, humongous. So I'm trying to keep an eye on them and watch this thing grow. It's turning into its own little jungle. Look, it's gonna grow all the way over into that dadgum peach tree, and I'm okay with it. But you can see the China Jade is putting on little cucumbers everywhere all of a sudden. And vine golly, Look, it's growing up on top of that shade cloth there, and I'm cool with that. May do this guy the same way. Just run him up in here and let it go. See what happens. All right, and down here on this spot, this is those birdhouse gourds. They're just now getting long enough where I can push them over here to the fence. It's gonna be a big jambalaya of stuff. I'm not, like I say, this is my second year. I'm not set up for everything that I wanna do. These tomato plants over here, this guy's ready to go. Pink Berkeley tie-dye. See, they got a pretty color to them. Nice stripy look. Just gonna set him down right here for the moment, and I will come back and get him. But got some sun golds ready to go in there. Let's take a peek here. Look at all them guys in there I need to get off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, today's the day. I haven't been checking at home as much because these are behind the secret garden. My mother-in-law come over the other day, and she found a big fat tomato worm stripping me bare, and we myrtleized him. He will no longer be a problem. If he's got any children, they got the same thing coming, and I'm saying it loud enough so they can all hear me right now. Got a little bit of green beans left here. Be about the second time that we've picked off of these, maybe third, I can't remember. But, you know, got a little bit coming. Need to pick them. Now, I've let it get real hairy back here, y'all. I haven't been taking care of it like I did last time on purpose, but look at this guy. This dadgum asparagus, man. Next year, I am eating some asparagus. Finally, I'll be able to eat it. It'll be the third year for me, and it may be 4 years old. I don't know. It was brought to me in a pot, but, you know, that guy, if you look, you see him in there coming up. Man, they just looking so dadgum healthy. Really doing good. Big old healthy bush. All right, let's go look around. Okay, guys, this little section here, I need to come over here and water this. I thought the sprinkler was getting to it, but I don't know. But I still see what I'm after. I don't know if you can see it, but there are some little starts there of some hyssop. The holy herb, or the sacred herb, whatever they call it. The stuff that they stuck the vinegar in and stuck it up there to Jesus. The same stuff they used to wipe the doorposts during Passover. The blood of the lamb, they used that hyssop. And it is awesome for the pollinators. I've seen a video on it, it's really cool. So I'm excited about that. That got added to my herb garden. Another volunteer, who knows what it is. Now, this Mexican squash, swallowing the comfrey back there. I trimmed this fig tree just like I did the other one, like I told y'all. Okay. That big old squash, I cut 3 plants out of there and just got it down to this one. And this one is still so big. Look at this thing growing out into my stuff. It's so big, goes all the way around that tree. And I still haven't seen a squash. Now I see the spots where they're gonna come, but I haven't seen one yet. Got some basil hiding down in between, getting kind of choked out. All right, and I've picked some beets, but there are still more coming. That basil's finally grown up now. And then this Mexican squash is shading it out over there where the cilantro was, but maybe the cilantro might start again underneath it because there were a lot of seeds. Parsley's about pootered out over there. It finally quit seeding. You can see the deal. I stripped it down over there pretty well too. Same kind of deal. There's a little bit of thyme down there on the ground. Now, see, some of these beets, I need to get my mother-in-law to come on over here because that's the right size now. Yeah, these are pretty decent beets here. So my beets are all about ready too. On this side, my comfrey's come back again. The watermelons are spreading out and they're growing up my greenhouse there. Hopefully they'll do good. Another volunteer. I didn't say anything about the cantaloupes a minute ago, and I don't know that I have anything on it yet. They've just started getting big enough to kind of vine. I've got them growing up. They're gonna hopefully crawl up here and mate with these guys, and I'll just have a whole mess of stuff growing in there. Okay. Down here, see, I need to do some weeding, but you can see. Get off of there, buddy. I do have some peppers. Now, I can't remember which ones are lunchbox and which ones are Johnny's. I ran out of tags at the time. I have new ones now, but either way, this is one or the other. Either Carmen sweet pepper or a lunchbox pepper, which is also a sweet pepper. I believe they're orange. Okay, and it's the same thing happening over there. I got 3 over here that have made it through it all. Okay. This old strawberry bush is doing okay. It's got weeds in there. Everything's got weeds. Finding the time to take care of this stuff right is not easy, guys. And I'm just not willing to work like a dog like I did last year. I'm taking it a little bit easier this round. But you'll remember I air layered this trumpet vine back there, and it's almost time for me to check it out. You can see that vine's doing really good. Man, it's growing up everywhere. Thing is, I can't have it like that here. I don't want it here. I think it's beautiful, but it will take over the world if I'll let it. So, same thing with this wisteria. I've got one at the secret garden up underneath the shop table under a light. We'll see how it's gonna do. If it makes it, this one will probably get dug up. That way, if this one does die, I'll have something to work with. But, you know, they will really take over. Look at that long string growing up there. They want to go up on top of my house and spread my tent out. Okay. Now, take a peek over here. Yep, I got some zucchini ready down in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And let's see, how about in this guy? I don't think I have any ready. We just picked a couple off yesterday. And I've got some yellow squash down in here. Kind of hard to see through all this business. But yeah, I got a yellow squash there.
I'm gonna pick this one for you.
My wife's still in that one.
It's ready.
Yep. There's some zucchini too, Mama, if you want to come get them. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see what you got. Oh yeah, that's about right. Yeah, this one right here has 2 or 3 in it. All right, let's go look at the tomatoes so I can spend lunch with my wife. All right, and the trumpet vine is molesting this side too, growing right over into these tomatoes. So there's Better Boy. Got a couple of them going down there. Looks like I've got some more harvesting to do. Man, it's gonna be good to can and make salsa with all these dadgum tomatoes. Some beef steaks. And y'all, it was growing out here into my walkway. All these tomatoes were. And I didn't even feel like messing with them. I just cut off everything that was coming out. I didn't mess with tying them up. You could see more pink Berkeley tie-dye. It's ready. Got that burn. So I'm doing pretty good on the tomatoes for sure. And here's Ason's corn. It's a joke too. It's kind of short, but you know what? It is all right there bunched together, so I might accidentally get something out of it. We'll see. All right. And all these dang paste tomatoes, Opalkas, and the Amish paste haven't made nothing for me. And even the one out at the secret garden only made about 3 of them. And so I don't know why, but for some reason I can't get paste tomatoes to do very well here. Oh, looky here, I was running my mouth. Finally see some evidence of some fruit from them. All right, those will be my first Opalkas. So we'll see what's up. But look at this Amish paste. It's real tall and nothing on it and breaking off. And I just really don't care for that style, to be honest with you. Get that guy flour off there and keep that guy spreading. All right. Anywho. So, you know, they grow up big and pretty, but not a whole lot happening with these guys. So for anybody who's interested, keep your eyes peeled. I'll have one up for the secret garden next day or two anyway. So till next time, that's what's going on June the 3rd at my house.